sharp-looking new hats that are red with the black brim and with the white C. So let's take about a 60-second timeout, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about this Dogs team as we look forward to their Game 1 in the 3-game series in the Battle of Bartow. We'll be back after this 60-second break here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Coverage of Cedartown High School Bulldogs baseball on the Big AA is brought to you in part by Republican State Representative Trey Kelly of Cedartown.
This is Representative Trey Kelly. I want to wish all the players and coaches a safe and successful season. You've worked hard to represent us on the field, and I'm proud to represent you in the Georgia House of Representatives. Again, this is Representative Trey Kelly, and I want to thank you for listening to the Big AA. Go Dogs!
This announcement paid for by State Representative Trey Kelly, kellyforhouse.com. Cedar Stream, the industry leader in screen printed apparel. They offer screen printing, embroidery, and signs and banners. At Cedar Stream, they have a fully automated screen printing facility here in Cedartown with the ability to efficiently and effectively distribute products all over the United States. Cedar Stream is a local family-run business with a big vision. Contact Cedar Stream today to find out what they can do for you. 800-686-7488 or cedarstream.com. Cedar Stream, shirts, it's what we do.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big AA.
And we are back here at Lake Point here at Emerson, getting ready to start out this battle, the Battle for Bartow. The Bulldogs taking on the Woodland Wildcats here in Game 1 tonight. They will have 2 more games tomorrow where they will take on Whitewater, as well as, I believe, Cartersville in the final game for the Dogs during this battle. But this one's going to be a good one here this afternoon. The Dogs coming in to this afternoon's game. They're 7-13 overall. Chief, they started off this season on an 8-loss streak. They had to get to Game 9 before they were able to pick up a win. However, since then, the Dogs have been in relatively good shape. We took 2 out of 3 from Central. We took a loss to Carrollton. We were swept by Heritage in a series where we should have won at least 1, if not 2 of those games, but we bounced back against Northwest Whitfield, and we pick up 3 wins, and we find ourselves in 3rd place in the region.
And that's where you got to be. That you start off the way that the Dogs started off struggling pretty severely, but kept trotting. Kept pushing at it, kept striving, caught a couple of breaks, and didn't give up. And if turned this into a productive season, a season where the playoffs are in the hunt, in the picture, and once you get in the playoffs, it starts over.
It does, and the Dogs are right where they want to be. You and I were talking about it while we were watching the game before us finish up, getting ready for our game to start, and you want to take an approach to these 3 games here. Obviously, you want to play well. You want to pick up wins if you can. But at the same time, these might be some tune-up games to get us from that big 3-game sweep against Northwest to get ready for the final 2 regular season series of the season, which will be against Sonorville and Southeast Whitfield. It's imperative that the Dogs win both of those series. And in reality, if you wanted a Christmas present, we would sweep both of those series.
Absolutely, but a responsible coach trying to take a tournament like this and use it for what it's worth should take it as a tune-up. Certainly you don't want to take it lightly, but the idea is to work on things that you need to work on, to tune up things you need to tune up on, because what counts is the region series that will continue after this. So looking at the lineup briefly for the Woodland team, Connor Sturmer bats first, playing shortstop, followed by Jake Clowers catching, Aiden Ray at third base, Mason Williams in center field, Logan Bentley at first base, Joshua Higgs, the designated hitter, will be hitting for the pitcher, Zach Lambert, followed by the 7-hole Connor Lucian playing second base, Luke Evans in right field, and Cam Williams in left. Cedartown Bulldogs are the home team in this game, and we'll be getting underway shortly. The game to our left already underway with
You've got a little special interest in that game, don't you?
I do, in fact, have a little special interest in the game. Most of our listeners, or a lot of our listeners, would know that my son was a 2017 graduate of Cedartown High School and a Bulldog alum. Bulldog baseball alum, and came back, coached at Cedartown High School last year, then got married and moved off to Warner Robins, where he got a job working for Houston County High School and coaches for the Bears. And as I sit here in the press box, I see Cedartown out of my right window and the Houston County Bears playing Cartersville out of the left window. So I'm watching two ball games at the same time, calling one.
Well, that's about as best as you can expect for a Thursday afternoon in April. Of course, outside of this game, if you think, baseball right in the swing of things, the Atlanta Braves coming off of that series in Chicago where they would split the series. They were supposed to play Game 3 on Wednesday. However, that would be rained out and has been rescheduled for later on in the year. It's sometime in the middle of June, if memory serves me correctly. And the Braves will be at home tomorrow in their home opener as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I will be there in section 400 and something in the nosebleeds, because if you saw I'll say this, the ticket prices, Chief, were not that bad. You know what was bad?
What was
the parking permit.
The parking permit.
My goodness. But baseball all around us, of course. The Final Four for both the women's and the men's will be starting. The women's will take place tomorrow night. It's going to be a good matchup between South Carolina and NC State, and then the nightcap, of course, will be UConn and Iowa. But first, it is baseball here from Lake Point. Jamie Newsom with the call of your Bulldogs baseball.
And the first pitch to start the game off, bunted by the batter, thrown out at first base. Good fielding by Holiday. Rolls off the mound, gathers that ball up. It was a pretty decent bunt down the third base gap. And one out, one pitch, one out for the Bulldogs.
That was Connor Sturman, who was up to bat. Now it'll be Jake Clowers. Wonder if he's any relation to Jerry.
I don't know, but he digs in and takes a ball off the plate outside. One ball, no strikes to Jake Clowers. Well, he can't be, because Jerry does not have an ace.
It does not. You're right. It's just the Clower.
Second pitch plugs him in the shoulder to number 6, Jake Clowers, to put a runner aboard with one out. Top the first inning. Cedartown just underway at Lake Point.
The bunt there to start off the game is not something that we are not used to. We see that a lot in our Johnson, not at all being afraid to play small ball, and it looks like Coach Todd Eubanks, the head man over at the Wildcats camp, he's not afraid to play the small ball either.
Well,
so this will bring up Aiden Ray.
Get them on, get them over, get them in.
Exactly.
It's worked for 150 years. Why give it up?
Ray getting the start over at third base this afternoon for Woodland. He comes to the plate with man on and a man out.
Holiday looks in, gets the sign, comes set from the stretch, the delivery, checked his swing. We think he did. High, ball one.
Good to see X back out there on the mound. If you will remember, he has throw over to first base. He has had some ups and downs throughout this season. He has been hit by a line drive that went off of his ankle. Also had a few problems with his elbow.
Pitch on the way is off the plate, 2 balls. The times I've seen him pitch, though, I haven't called as many games this year as you have, but the times I've seen him pitch, he looks sharp.
He does, and he looked really good the last outing he had. I believe he went 6 innings, and then
pitch on the way inside.
He would not close out that game, but he pitched a solid 6 innings his last outing for the Dogs, but he is behind here against Aiden Ray. 3 balls, no strikes.
Runner with the lead at first. Delivery on the way. Strike called.
Cedartown able to retire the leadoff batter. That's something that they struggled with earlier in the season, but did not have a problem with it here tonight. And that's one of the things as they throw over to first. He's back safely again. It's just the Dogs have had such a difficult season so far in the sense of they've played from behind a lot. So
often. Runner takes off. Batter fouls it out, so everybody will rewind and reboot and do it over again. But Xavier started out with a 3-ball, no strike count and has worked the count full. So a payoff pitch will be due Ray momentarily. Holiday set. Sign. Delivery. ball four.
So after retiring the first man on a bunt down the third base side, we have a hit batsman and now a walk, and so that'll put runners at first and second, and it'll bring up Mason Williams. Williams getting the start today out in center field. So the cleanup man coming up to the plate with 2 on and 1 out. Not a position that you want to see a big bat coming up, so the Dogs need to take care of business here against Williams.
Yeah, and this young man just looks like a baseball player. Squares to bunt, then calls time. Cedartown with the corners in. Runner on first and second, 1 out. Cleanup hitter 27, Mason Williams digs in. Squares to bunt again, draws it back, strike called.
Good pitch there by X. Got the call there from the home plate umpire, so he's ahead in the count here. No balls and 1 strike. We'll see if they leave the bunt sign on or if we let the big man swing freely.
Or if he's just trying to see if he can get in Holiday's head.
And that's also a possibility there, as he showed bunt, then he called times, then he shows bunt and gets a called strike, and then he kind of steps in and steps out again. So he may be playing little mind games here with X just to see if he can rattle his cage.
And now the stretch, the delivery, ball high.
Count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan is out at second base. Ray is over at first base for the Woodland Wildcats. This is a team we're going to become familiar with starting next season as they will join the region.
Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Throw down to third on the runner, stealing, and he got under the tag.
Yeah, the throw down to third was a little bit high and a little bit away from the bag, and Perkins really had to go out there and get it. Had that been delivered a strike, Chief, I think we would have got it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the throw was in time, just a little bit off the mark.
Allred is behind the plate tonight for the Dogs. He and Dakota Matthews have split the catching duties, with Matthews catching the majority of the time, but Allred here in his second straight start for Cedartown behind the plate.
Pitch on the way, hit out to third base, foul.
And to be honest with you, it might have even been 3 straight. I don't remember if he started in the first game of the doubleheader against Northwest Whitfield, but I know he did in game 2 that night, game 3 of the series. So we're seeing Allred here today, but my guess is we'll see Matthews in at least 1 game tomorrow.
Pitch on the way off the plate. Top of the first inning, no score, 1 out. Runners on second and third. Holiday comes set. Stretch. Delivery, swung on and hit out towards shortstop. Going to be in the hole. There's not going to be any way we throw anybody out. Runners on the corners, 1 run in. 1-0 Woodland, top of the first.
That one was put about as perfect as you could get it. Like you said, Perkins had to range to his left. The shortstop, Ace Allen, had to come in from his, or come in to his right, and just unable to get there, and it just found the hole. But at least Ace was able to keep it into the infield. That only holds Woodland to scoring 1 run, but the Wildcats do take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning, and they've got runners on the corners, and that will bring up number 20, Logan Bentley. So Holiday already running into some trouble here, but nothing a ground ball double play can't get us out of.
Still only 1 out in the inning. Bentley digs in. Holiday with the pitch. Strike on the outside corner.
Good way to start out Bentley there from Holiday. We need him to give us a good 4 or 5 innings if he can. And you got to make quick work if you want to get deep into the game, as he throws over to first. Runner is back safely. Woodland, for those of you listening, they are in their white uniforms with pinstripes.
Runner takes off from first. He's going to have to check up because there's a pop fly out to right field. Caught. Going to be a play at the plate. Runner coming in, and he's out, Sam. Yes, he is. Double play in one of the unusual ways. Pop fly out to right field and then doubled off the runner trying to tag. Good execution by Cedartown. That could have been, Sam, a dangerous inning, but good execution by Cedartown. Maybe a little early risk taking by Woodland, and they're only able to put one run across the plate.
Yep, so it is 1-0. We will head to the bottom of the first. We'll be back after this 60-second break here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey, it's the Border Mexican Restaurant located at 718 North Main Street right here in Cedartown. Their phone number, 678-246-1031. They serve a wide variety of your favorite Mexican food made fresh daily. Great food, great fun. It's great for the whole family. Come see us at the Border Restaurant right here on Main Street in Cedartown. Or you can call for takeout at 678-246-1031. The Border Mexican Restaurant is the best Mexican food north of the border. That's the Border Restaurant right here in Cedartown.
Bradford's Drugstore on North Main Street in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember Bradford's for all of your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacist takes time to get to know you, explain your medication, and answer any questions that you may have. Go by and see Bill Brewster and all the fine folks at Bradford's the next time you need a prescription filled. Also use their convenient drive-thru. Bradford's Drugstore, 500 North Main Street, Cedartown, 770-748-3100. And all the folks at Bradford say, go Dogs.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big Double A.
1-0 is your score as we go to the bottom of the first inning. The Dogs running into just a little bit of trouble there in the top, but Holiday able to pitch out of a jam as Woodland would score one but leave two on in a good double play to get us out of the inning. The catch there by Samuel Formby out in right field, the throw into home, the good catch there, and the tag applied by Gavin Allred. So we will go to the top of the order. For the Dogs, it'll be Holiday, Ace Allen, and Tony Ware. Starting pitcher this afternoon. For the Woodland Wildcats, number 12, Zach Lambert.
So Holiday digs in to start off the bottom half of the first inning. Pitcher takes a long look in. And now from the windup, delivers the first pitch on the way outside for strike one.
X has really come on here late in this stretch of games here in region play offensively for the Dogs.
Tipped it at the plate, 0-2 on Holiday.
He's not afraid to take a walk. He's not afraid to get hit by a pitch, and he typically will give you some pretty good at-bats, but he's behind here in the count against Lambert, 0-2.
The 0-2 pitch, catcher sets up way outside, gets him to chase on a strike three outside the zone. I saw that one coming a mile away, but
we both did on that one.
But of course, X can't look behind him and see where the catcher's set up, but that bait and switch worked.
He was set up almost behind the other batter's box.
Oh, yeah.
He was so far
about
outside on that one.
Of the batter's box.
So that'll bring up Ace Allen. He comes to the plate with nobody on and one out in the Dogs' half of the first inning.
And the pitch swung on and missed.
Ace has also offensively been hot for the Dogs lately.
He has. Pitch on the way, fouled at the plate, 0-2.
Really just about everybody was hot during that Bruins series. We had a couple of guys that were also hot during the Heritage series. Despite getting swept, the Dogs put up significant amounts of runs against the Generals. We put up
Count now even 1-1. Wind up in the pitch, off the plate, ball 2.
We are in the top of the second inning. For those of you listening, we apologize having a little bit of connectivity issues, but we are in the top of the second and 1 out for the Dogs.
3-1.
Holiday was able to pick up that first out. Now he's fallen behind here, trying to battle back.
The pitch on the way, hit hard out to shortstop, gobbled up by the Cedartown shortstop. Quick throw over to first, and got him by a half step. Bang, bang play out there by the Cedartown shortstop, Ace Allen. Good-looking defensive play, Sam.
Yeah, with X on the mound, of course, that's where we see Ace typically play, is in that shortstop spot, and with him over in that 6th hole, Everett Perkins, of course, getting the start at third base for the Dogs. Perkins is just a freshman, but I tell you what, I've been impressed with him so far this season. We've seen him a lot.
Number 9, Luke Evans now bats, and the first pitch is chopped out to third base, thrown over to first, and out number 3. So after giving up 1 run in the first inning, the Dogs put down the Wildcats 1-2-3 in the second. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back for the bottom half of the second to see if the Dogs can tie this thing up.
Cedar Valley Golf Course has been the place to play golf in Cedartown and Polk County for nearly a century. Locally owned and operated since 1924, Cedar Valley Golf Course offers 18 holes of some of the most beautiful fairways and greens in the area. Cedar Valley Golf Course is a proud supporter of the Cedartown High School Bulldogs and the greater Cedartown and Polk County region. Call for tee time 770-748-9671, located just south of Cedartown at 1811 Buchanan Highway. Cedartown's original golf course, Cedar Valley Golf Course. Cedartown Automotive is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. Oil changes, new tires, or tire repair, brake work, tune-ups, air conditioner service, or repair, think of Cedartown Automotive. Cedartown Automotive is a longtime supporter of Cedartown High School athletics here on WGAA. Cedartown Automotive on East Avenue in Cedartown. Give them a call today at 770-749-5040 or stop by their beautiful location for fast and friendly service. And all the folks at Cedartown Automotive say, go Dogs!
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big AA.
Dalen Holiday, Owen Gerald, and Cole Dingler due up for the Bulldogs here in the bottom half of the second inning. Dogs trail 1-0.
Holiday, one of the big bats for the Dogs. He's inserted in the lineup today as the DH, batting in place of Gavin Allred. The catcher will lead things off.
The wind-up in the first pitch on the way is a ball.
Tell you what, he is a heck of a at-bat for the Dogs, Chief. He typically runs the count long and comes away with a hit.
Seen a lot of good at-bats from him this year. The wind-up and the pitch on the way, swung on a check, tried to check his swing, then fouled it right there at the plate. Looked like he was fooled by that pitch. Now the delivery on the way inside almost hit him, but takes a ball.
So the count now 2 balls and 1 strike against the Bulldogs DH.
Hit hard out to the gap in right center. It's going to get by the center fielder. This is going to be a double. Reels it up there at second base. A leadoff double for the Cedartown Bulldogs. Set us up. That was a great hit by Dalen Holiday. So we'll see if Owen Gerald can move him over.
And we've seen the same approach consistently from Dalen Holiday, and that's just don't try to do too much with it. Just put the ball in play and let what is going to happen. And you see that there with Holiday. Doesn't really try to do too much. Just trust his bat, and he stands on second base with a leadoff double.
He does. He hit that one right on the screws. So now Owen Gerald stands in with a runner on second base. Nobody out. Squares the bunt. Good bunt. It'll get the job done. Pitcher grabs it up, throws over to first to record the out, but successfully moves Holiday over to third, which was the intent.
And that's just textbook coaching there by Coach Gavin Johnson. Is something that us Bulldog fans are used to seeing. We said it earlier in the broadcast. He does not mind playing the small ball at all, and he does there with Gerald, and that will bring up Cole Dingler, the experienced senior Bulldog first baseman. He comes to the plate with 1 on and 1 out, and the Dogs trailing by 1. So another good swing of the bat here could tie this ball game up.
From the stretch, the pitch to Dingler, inside for ball 1. With a runner on third and only 1 out, even a relatively deep fly ball can score that run. A slow chopper grounder in the infield could score that run. A lot of possibilities here for Cedartown. The windup, the pitch, hit out to third base. Third baseman gathers it up, throws it to first. That's about the one thing that wouldn't score the run, is a sharp hit ball to the third baseman.
You're right, and that's exactly what happened there for Dingler. The third baseman, Ray, able to recover after he dropped it and get it over to first base in time. So that will be the second out of the inning, and it's going to bring up the freshman in Everett Perkins. He comes to the plate with the runner still at third base, and now 2 outs. Something the Dogs need to capitalize on is going to be runners in scoring position. You're going to need it once you get into the playoffs and as we finish out the regular season.
Fouled down the third base line for strike 1.
Had we been able to cash in runs in the Heritage Series, we would have taken probably 2 out of those 3 games, but there were several times where the Dogs left a lot of runners on, 2 times in particular in one game that we left the bases loaded. But offensively, the Dogs looked much better against Northwest, which came into that series 6-0 in the region and tied for first place, as that one is inside against Perkins. So the Bats waking up against the Bruins. We hope that they will continue throughout the season. Cedartown still has to play Southeast Whitfield, and then we will close out the season against the Sonoraville Phoenix.
Pitcher from the stretch delivers. Little blooper out to center field, and it finds grass, and Cedartown has tied it up with an RBI single by the freshman Perkins. Good piece of hitting, kind of got it off the handle, fought it out there. That's all he needed to do was have it hit turf. It hit turf.
And I tell you,
ball game.
That young man has a bright future, I think, here at CHS. He has played well in his freshman year, getting the start at third in several instances. He's been able to swing the bat well, and I tell you what, he's a strong kid just to be a freshman as well. So that'll bring up Jack Roper. He comes to the plate with 1 on, 2 out and 1 run already across.
The pitch is called a strike. 0-1 the count. Runner on first, 2 outs, tie ball game. 1 up in the second. Pitcher comes set, snap throw to first, not in time.
For Cedartown, this is game 1 of a 3-game series here in the Battle for Bartow. The Dogs will take on Whitewater tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and then the nightcap against the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes. First pitch of that game is scheduled for 7 p.m. Andrew Carter, as that one gets inside and away from the catcher, but nobody advances.
Andrew Carter and maybe me, depending on schedule.
And we will have video for both of those games. So for those of you that are listening on the radio and wondering why there's not a video feed, well, I'll just be honest with you. I'm not that smart. I cannot set up all of the camera equipment, but Andrew Carter will be back with you tomorrow night.
Pitch on the way, hit out to third base, just fair, gets out into the left field corner. This is going to put a runner all the way at third. Yes, runners at second and third on a double by Jack Roper.
So Roper coming through with a good piece of hitting there for the Dogs, extends the inning. So back-to-back 2-out hits. It scores a run for Cedartown, and it puts a runner now at second and third, and we will go back to the top of the order in X Holiday, who was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. If you remember, he struck out on that pitch that was way outside and high, that final put-out pitch that was delivered there by Lambert. And if I had to guess, I would say that X would not let that happen again. It looks like we're going to have a coaching visit from the Wildcats dugout. So far we'll recap it for you. It is a 1-1 ball game. Woodland striking for 1 in the top of the first. The Dogs striking for 1 here in the bottom of the second. Cedartown, 1 run on 4 hits. Woodland, 1 run on 1 hit. Both teams yet to commit an error, and the Woodland coaching visit continues as the home plate umpire makes his way out to the pitcher's mound to break things up. The entire infield came in for that one as well. And so we are ready to go back to work with X Holiday up to the plate.
With Everett Perkins standing on third base and Jack Roper on second base. 2 outs in the inning, and a base hit here by Holiday brings home 2. Pitcher from the stretch looks in. Comes setting the delivery to Holiday. Bounced up there. Good block up by the catcher to keep it in front of him.
Yep, Clower's able to keep that one in front of him. Otherwise, that would have cost Woodland a run and would have given Cedartown the lead, but a good stop there by the Wildcats backstop, and X is ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strike.
The 1-0 pitch. Fouled out of play. It's going to go on over to the other field. Watch out, guys. Here comes the...
Everybody's good over there. Landed safely. The right fielder going to field that one and get it in, and we'll come back to our game here as X gets set with the count now even. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Pitch on the way to Holiday. Same thing. That one. Watch out, guys. Going over to the other field.
That one landed on the infield that time. Rolled out to about the shortstop, and the shortstop does retrieve it. And so X now behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 on and 2 out. A golden opportunity for the Dogs here to seize the lead away from Woodland. It's tied right now at 1 run apiece.
And the pitch to Holiday is hit out to first base, and it's going to be a routine little chopper for out number 3. Dogs strand 2, but not before they tie it up. 2 innings in the books, 1-1 here from Lake Point.
And we'll be back after this 60-second break. We will keep it right here then, and we are tied at 1 run apiece. Cedartown taking on the Woodland Wildcats here at Lake Point. Just a beautiful facility if you've never been up here. They've got basically every type of sporting field or arena that you could want to have. Of course, you pass right by it if you come through Emerson right before you get ready to turn on to I-75, and this facility has been hosting sporting events for a while now, and the fields just look absolutely beautiful. Of course, they are turf fields, so they are in immaculate condition, and the Dogs are trying to pick up a win here on the turf. Chief, they have tied it up, and X Holiday, after what started out as a little bit of a rocky first inning, kind of settled in there in the second. We'll see how well he does here in the top of the third. Throw down to second base from Allred, and it looks like we are back ready to go. Sam Branch alongside Jamie Newsom, bringing you high school baseball here on a Thursday night.
And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. Number 8 is strolling up to the plate, and that is Jonathan Ryan. Looks like he'll be hitting for Cam Williams.
So Ryan will come to the plate to lead things off in the top of the third inning. 1-1 your score.
Number 9 hole hitter. Squares the bunt, reels it in, takes a ball. Cam Williams slated to be followed up by the leadoff hitter, Sturmer, and then Clowers fouls it down the third base line.
X ran that one inside on him, in on his hands, and
inside outed it to the third base coach.
So that'll put X at an even count of 1 ball and 1 strike on
And now balls
Ryan.
from other fields are flying over onto Cedartown's field.
That's just part of the job here at Lake Point is to make sure that you're also paying attention to other baseballs.
Swung on and missed.
I guess it's an occupational hazard of playing in a facility like this that has basically 4 baseball fields with the press box, concession stand, and restroom kind of right in the middle of it.
Strike 3 called. Yeah, there's 2 mirror images. There's one press box with 4 fields surrounding it. Then the other side, there's another press box with 4 more fields surrounding it. Lake Point is a beautiful, beautiful complex. And then when the lights come on in a little bit, they've got Major League Stadium quality lighting.
Back to the top of the order in Sturmer, and he fouls first pitch he sees back, and so X again is ahead in the count on the leadoff man for the Wildcats, who is 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Well, really evening. We're approaching the 8 o'clock hour.
Inside.
Was that him? Yeah.
That one's in there for a called strike from Holiday. So X battling here and is back ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes against the shortstop for the Wildcats. And we've got time called because another ball has come onto the field, this time from somewhere.
And you know, Sam, not that
Over
we
the
have but
outfield.
about 3 of our listeners that care, but the game to the left is tied. Cartersville against Houston County is 1-1.
There you go. So the Hurricanes
And I'm
and
one
the
of
Bears.
the 3 that care. Chopped out to third base. Going to be a tough play. Gobbled up, thrown over. It's going to be close, but he just legged it out safe. Good play by the freshman third baseman for Cedartown. Good stretch, good effort made over there by Dangler at first base. But deep in the hole behind the bag.
Speedy runner.
Legged it out by a half step. Good baseball. It is what it is.
So that'll put a runner at first base with 1 out, and that'll bring up the catcher, Clowers. Clowers
I believe
would
those lights just came on.
Yep. Clowers would get hit by a pitch in his first at bat.
Delivery on the way, popped a mile high in the infield. Ace Allen calls everybody off, camps out up under it, and squeezes it for the out.
So 2 outs now here in the inning, top of the third. And that will bring up the third baseman, Aiden Ray. Ray comes to the plate. He is still looking for his first hit. He walked in his first at
Runner
bat.
takes off to second, throw down, and he's going to be out. What did you see there, Sam? Did it look like he slid a little bit too soon?
I think he did, and it
almost
just
stopped
slowed him
short
up.
of the bag?
Yep.
And to take a little bit of time here, I don't know the young man and don't know that team very well, but what I do know is that is not a dirt infield.
No, it is not.
Some turf fields still have dirt on the infield.
Correct.
And some have turf. And this one is one that, well, it's a different color. It looks like the prettiest dirt you've ever seen, but it
does.
is turf. And he may have played, like I said, I don't know the young man, not criticizing him, but it is a totally different sliding technique as to how much resistance you're going to encounter when you're sliding on that. And that's what it appeared, as though he timed his slide a little bit off and just stopped about 3 inches before the bag.
I think you're right, but a good play there to end the inning, and we will go to the bottom of the third. The Dogs still tied up with the Wildcats at 1 run apiece. We'll be back after this 30-second break here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Looking for a good used vehicle? Don't go out of town. Come see the folks at Dingler Motor Company, 526 North Main Street. Bad credit, no problem. Dingler Motor Company can get you back on the road in no time with their in-house financing. Top quality pre-owned late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Stop by and check out their wide selection at 526 North Main Street across from Livewire Surplus. Call them at 770-748-0906. Search them on Facebook at Dingler Motor Co. That's Dingler Motor Company.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big AA.
1-1 is your score here back from Lake Point. Ace Allen will lead things off for the Dogs in the bottom of the third inning.
Pitcher from the windup delivers the first pitch on the way to Ace, fouls it off, and I know we sound like a broken record, but fouled it off
into
over
the
into
other
the other field.
Yeah. Allen is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 due up for Cedartown.
The 0-1 pitch on the way. Fouled off at the plate. 0-2.
Zach Lambert is still on the mound for Woodland through 2 innings. He's allowed just 1 run on 4 hits and recorded 2 strikeouts. He has faced a total of 10 batters and has thrown 27 pitches. 21 of them have been for strikes.
That's the way you win ball games.
Efficient young man for the Wildcats so far this evening. Dogs trying to ruin all that for him.
And the pitch. Umpire had called time, waved off, said no pitch. Well, and in the last several years, when prep baseball has instituted a pitch count, those things definitely matter.
Yes, they do.
I mean, how many kids have been roasting their opponent and run out of pitches in the 7th inning?
That one is fouled back again. So the count will remain 0-2 as that one hits off the roof of the press box. If you heard that thud, no, it was not me falling off of my chair, but
roasting their opponents, but going deep in too many counts.
Yep.
And run out of pitches.
And then had to be pulled, and then that sometimes changes the game completely.
Game. Pitch on the way to Ace, bounced up there for a ball.
Good take there by Ace Allen. Of course, Ace, one of the speedier runners for the Dogs. If we could get him on the base pads, we'd love to get that speed there, and he would be followed up by Tony Ware, who had the big double. Ace
fouled
again,
out of play.
Just staying alive. A good at bat here for Ace Allen, facing off against the starting pitcher for Woodland, Zach Lambert. Both pitchers tonight have looked sharp. Lambert trying to continue that success as he's ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
2 balls.
So far for X Holiday through 3 innings, he's given up just the 1 run on just 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and he has given up 1 walk, and he has hit a batter. He's thrown 36 pitches, 23 for strikes.
Fouled out of play. Ace stays alive. You know, we were just talking about how efficient this pitcher for Woodland's being, and Ace Allen is trying his best to
Well, he's trying to play
tally
forward.
up some of those pitch counts.
And that's not a bad idea. Of course, I know that's not his goal, is just to run up the pitch count, but he's putting up a very good at bat, staying alive.
If it's close, you better chunk at it.
That one's in the dirt. Will get away from the catcher Clowers. So the count is now going to be full after Ace Allen had fallen behind 0-2. It's now a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff man for the Dogs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, Ace Allen with a good at bat, fighting off balls that are close. The one thing you don't want to do if you're a hitter is go down looking. Ace Allen swinging. Payoff pitch. Bounced it up there, and a good at bat draws a walk. Lead off runner.
He turned an 0-2 count into
a walk.
And it was about a 9-pitch at bat, if I'm
Something
guessing
like that.
right. And so the Dogs with the leadoff man aboard, courtesy of a walk, and it'll bring up Tony Ware, who had the big double and is 1 for 1.
Well, 4 balls, 2 strikes is 6, and he
fouled
probably fouled off 4 more.
Yep, so he's closer to the 10-pitch mark.
9 or 10 pitches.
But still, either way you slice it, just a good at-bat there for the Bulldogs shortstop. Now the center fielder, Tony Ware, will try to repeat his success from his first at-bat and move that runner over, if not, score him and take the lead.
Stretch. Ball 1. Negative. Strike 1. Umpire here tonight is doing a good job, calls a good game, but he's deliberate, and I like deliberate. You know, sometimes we've seen umpires that'll call a strike before the catcher catches it. This umpire will take a half second and make sure in his own mind that he's got the call right and then call it. So sometimes I have to wait. That's a borderline pitch. What's he going to call it?
So he will check the runner over at first and now toe the rubber and is ready to go to work here against Ware again as he's behind in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Ace with a pretty big lead over there at first base.
Bounced off. Strike called.
Ace coming all the way out to the cut there. Oven mitt in hand, ready to bake some cookies. Again, a good lead. Count now even 1-1.
Hit out towards shortstop. Shortstop flips to second. Out number 1, on to first, but not in time.
I tell you what,
so
Tony.
A 6-4-3 fielder's choice at second base.
And Tony Ware's going to make that play right there tough on any infield.
That's right.
I don't care who you are. He comes out of the box very well. He hustles down first base line. Anytime he gets a hit, he's hustling down the line. And so he avoids the double play.
Me or you running, we'd have been out.
Buddy, I wouldn't have made it past the other batter's box on that one. My goodness.
Right. Me and you'd have been out by about a half step.
Maybe.
Half step out of the batter's box.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Tony Ware will stand over at first base, and the lead runner there at second is retired in Ace Allen, and that's going to bring up Samuel Formby, who is 0 for 1. Formby making the good play out in right field earlier, the double play to end the inning.
Ball 1.
Formby taking a look at his cheat card there as Coach Johnson relays the sign.
Coach Johnson gave him the cheat code sign for get a hit.
That's right.
Pitcher looks in, stretch, delivery, strike called.
So the count now even on the Bulldogs right fielder. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out. Your score is tied 1-1, bottom of the 3rd inning. Lots of ones across the board so far. Throw over to first base, and the runner is back safely in Tony Ware. Tony can not only hustle down the first base side, but he can motor around the base pads as well. So Lambert being smart to keep an eye on the Bulldogs center fielder over there at first base.
Another throw back over to first, not in time. Ware with the lead at first. Pitcher comes set, stretch, delivery, ball outside.
Other games in action in Major League Baseball. The Pirates lead the Nationals 7-4 in the top of the 9th with 2 outs. The White Sox and the Royals are now underway in Kansas City. There are talks and rumors swirling around Kansas City with both the future of the Royals as well as the Chiefs.
Runner takes off, pop fly into center field. He's going to have to retreat, and quickly. Center fielder catches it. Ball hung up in the air a pretty good bit and gave Tony ample opportunity to get back to first. But a long, high, loud out. The
Guardians defeated the Twins 4-2, so you're only 2 games that you can catch tonight if you are looking to catch a baseball game on TV. Major League-wise will be that White Sox and Royals game. In regards to, not that a lot of people matter because it's 2 teams that, one team that definitely nobody really watches. The other team, they only watch it when it's the Super Bowl. Throw over to first base, runner back safely, but that one was close. But the voters in the county that Kansas City is located turned down a referendum to place essentially a splost, if you want to put it in terms that we're familiar with, to help fund renovations to stadiums.
Tony Ware takes off, swung and missed, and he's in safe with a straight steal of second base. Got a good jump. It was a good throw down by the catcher. Now it was not fielded cleanly on the receiving end, but Tony was already standing up. He would have been safe regardless.
So Tony out at second base now, and Dalen Holiday behind in the count. No balls and 1 strike.
Base hit would put the Dogs ahead. Stretch and the pitch on the way. Strike called.
I don't know.
Now finish your thought about that
Well, Kansas City, of course, the home to both the Chiefs and the Royals. The Chiefs there in Arrowhead Stadium, they want to stay in Arrowhead Stadium, but they want to make some pretty extensive renovations in the multi-million-dollar range. The Royals pitch on the way. That one's fouled back. The Royals, however, have plans to build an entirely new stadium, and the referendum failed, and it's mainly because the Royals have yet to put together an actual valid plan for a new stadium so fast.
Pitch on the way. Looked like he was fooled a little bit.
They got him not so fast.
Yeah, got him on strike 3. Was fooled by an off-speed pitch, off balance swing, and swung on and missed to close the book. So the Cedartown Bulldogs leave another runner stranded with 3 innings in the book. The score remains Cedartown 1, Woodland 1. We'll be back after a timeout. A little word from our Bulldog sponsors.
Rocky and Patty Tillery, 2 Cedartown High School graduates, and they stayed right here in the county and went into business. They employ right at 100 people, and they've been doing that for a long time. Most of their work is from out of the county, but they want to push our youngsters here, no matter what they're doing, Little League, Pony League, high school baseball, basketball, football, and soccer, and that's Polk County Public Service. They appreciate serving you.
Have you been to Croker's Hardware Supply lately? Croker's is the place to find everything you need, from boots to fencing, from plumbing supplies to wood and gas stove fittings, everything, even paint and flooring. Whether you're building or repairing, everything you need is right here at Croker's Hardware on East Avenue. Name brands galore right here in your back door. Orca and Yeti coolers and tumblers, case knives, native eyewear, buck stove grills, and more. At Croker's, you can find everything.
Go by and see the friendly staff there at 1192 Rockmart Highway. That's Croker's Hardware in Cedartown.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big Double A.
Not just one of the greatest voices in WGAA history, but in my book, one of the greatest radio voices of our time. That is Frank Burgess Sr. And I tell you what,
Man gave me my first real job.
Well, I tell you what, I don't tell him enough, but I love that Frank Burgess Jr. still plays that commercial. First pitch to the leadoff man for Woodland is in there for a called strike 1.
Yeah, there's a few commercials we still have of him, and they're priceless.
Aiden Ray, the third baseman, fouls that one back again, so he's now behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Frank told me when I first started working for him, he said, I don't have to like the song that you picked to play, DJ the radio station, but I don't ever want to turn on and find dead air on the Big Double A.
Not at all.
Chopped out to second base. Cedartown second baseman scoops it up and throws not in time. It was a high chopper and a softly hit chopper. Cedartown second baseman, in essence, did all he could do with it. But runner came out of the batter's box, exploded out of the batter's box trying to leg it out, Aiden Ray, and he did.
Yep, that's a tough play there for Owen Gerald, but that's also, like you were saying about what Frank said, that's one of the golden rules of radio, just no dead air.
Yeah, no dead air, son.
So that will bring up Williams, the center fielder. He comes to the plate with runner on. Shows bunt, and that one's foul back. But like you said, Chief, that one just a high chopper, a slow developing play there out to Owen Gerald, and the second baseman for the Dogs did everything that he could to make a play on it. But that's okay, because we've got a chance now for a double play, and the way that X has been pitching, I like what I'm seeing so far, so no need to panic as Mason Williams stands in. He is 1 for 1, though, with an RBI.
Swung on and missed.
Williams, the starting center fielder for the Wildcats.
X delivers a ball.
That one was a little bit low there for Holiday, so the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. X, one of the few seniors on this Bulldogs
snap
squad.
Throw over to first, and that was close. Got him leaning over towards second as he was taking his lead. Got him stepping, cross step, leaning a little bit towards second. Almost picked him off.
That's a good time to fire that throw over when they're doing that.
Fouled out a play over to the other field again.
I know you didn't get anything. I was the only one that got something before the game, but did you happen to peruse the menu of the concession stands downstairs?
I did not.
Buddy, they have cheeseburgers, they have hamburgers, they have barbecue sandwiches, they have empanadas, they have...
Swung on and missed. Throw down to first, almost, but not quite in time. And it was almost to strike him out, pick him off, but down on strikes.
Yeah. So Williams is
goes
retired.
Mason Williams.
And that is going to bring up Logan Bentley. Bentley 0 for 1.
The press box is the second story over the first story being the concession stand.
We are right over top of the Champions.
Yeah.
I believe they call it the Champions Grill, but I tell you what they don't have. Throw over to first base, runner back safely. They do not have homemade red velvet cake. They do not have homemade banana pudding. They do not have homemade chicken spaghetti, which are all things that we have had, as that's a chopper up the middle again. A chance to turn 2. Gerald goes to second with it. Now the fire over to first, and he is there safely. So the Dogs do get the leadoff runner. That was going to be a bang-bang play if we wanted to turn 2. But we do now have 2 outs in the inning as Bentley reaches safely down at first. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Joshua Hicks. Little meeting on the mound between Holiday and Allred, but going back to the food, of course, I'm no stranger to a good meal, especially one on the road. I honestly think that's one of my favorite parts of going to away games is I know in the high school ranks, everywhere you go, you're going to have about the same as far as concession stand food, but I still like to see what everybody else has got.
Wind up the pitch on the way is a strike called.
Hicks was a victim of a strikeout in his first at bat. 0 for 1 on the afternoon.
Well, I avoid it, but the smell of that
you
concession stand is
we go the
is
opposite
tempting.
ways.
Strike called. Good pitch by Holiday.
Outside of that first inning when X would run into a little bit of trouble and give up that 1 run, he has looked sharp ever since then.
Runner takes off towards second, but the ball's fouled off. Everybody will have to scramble back and do it again.
No balls, 2 strikes, the count. 1 on, 2 out. We are in the top of the 4th inning. Cedartown tied up with the Woodland Wildcats. 1 run apiece.
The stretch and the pitch on the way, hit right back to Holiday. He grabs it, throws over to first, and ends this half inning. So nothing doing for the Wildcats. That closes the book on the top of the 4th. We'll take a break for a few words from our Bulldog sponsors and be back to see if Cedartown can change this tied-up ball game 1-1 with 3.5 in the books.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the GHSA.
Make the right play. Go to Peach State Ford in Cedartown today.
Rush to Peach State Ford in Cedartown. Peach State Ford has a championship lineup of new and pre-owned vehicles. Peach State Ford is now open in your backyard.
Peach State Ford is proud to be part of your local community. Whether you're waiting for your vehicle to get serviced, picking up a part for your vehicle, or stopping by to check out a new vehicle for yourself, Peach State Ford offers a wide range of amenities to enhance your experience. Peach State Ford in Cedartown, 2076 Rockmart Highway, 770-748-3673.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big AA.
And if you're in the market for a new vehicle, why not do it in a Ford? Go out and see our good friends out at Peach State Ford for all your automotive needs. Arthur Banks, Todd Britt, Joseph Stapleton, Kerry Cole, the old crew out there. They will take care of you from the time that you step foot in your brand new vehicle to your services to the time you get ready to trade things in. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Dogs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch on the way to Owen Gerald, the Dogs' second baseman, is taken inside for ball 1. The Dogs in a 1-1 tie here with the Woodland Wildcats as we are in the bottom of the 4th.
Strike called. Thank you for spotting me, Sam.
Oh, you're fine.
Duty called, had to go make a quick phone call, and
sometimes that happens, and especially in your job, sir.
Oh yeah, and the pitch. Hi.
Did I tell you that I met your mother a couple of weeks ago?
You did not.
She came up to me at my other place of employment.
Right.
And she and I were talking, and she said, "You should know who I am." That one's hit up the middle.
That's going to be squirreled out to shortstop.
Got to hustle.
It's going to be a tough play, but he makes it. A little softly hit ball, almost playable by the pitcher. Shortstop gathered it up, recorded the out.
So Gerald is the first out of the inning, and it'll be Cole Dingler, the first baseman. But I was at one of my
she
other.
Said, you know my baby.
She said, "Well, you'll know my son." And I said, "Okay." She said, "You just got to think real hard." Now he does. He's kind of like you. He has more than one job. And I kept thinking, and then as soon as she said it, I said, "Of course I know who you are."
Yeah. Pitch on the way to Dingler is a ball inside.
I just had to look through the fog a little bit.
Yeah, generally she says, "Do you know my baby?" I don't care if you're 52 or not. You're still your mama's baby.
Absolutely.
And the pitch. Outside for a ball.
Cole is 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Trying to pick up his first hit here from Lake Point. Heading the count, 2 balls and no strikes.
Working from the windup, the delivery on the way bounced up there for a ball. Score remains tied 1-1. Bottom half of the 4th inning.
Catcher Clowers is going to trot out to the pitcher's mound, have a conversation with Lambert, and make sure they're all on the same page as far as what their signs are. Now with the introduction of PitchCom even into the high school ranks, you see less and less of that, although it does not look like Clowers has got PitchCom. I did see during the Northwest series that Gavin Allred did use PitchCom. Now, I have not seen if he is using it tonight or not. I will try to make a note of that once we go to the top of the 5th. But Clowers is back, and Lambert is ready to go back to work again against Dingler.
Pitch on the way to him is a strike called. I had noticed in the previous game when I was watching Houston play that their catcher utilizes it.
It's something that you are seeing more and more of. Yeah, we've seen other teams use it throughout the season.
Wind up the pitch, popped a mile high. Will it remain in play? First baseman's going over toward it. The catcher lost it in the lights. First baseman and the catcher were reeling in. From our perspective here in the press box, we could only see it. We could see the reaction of the players, but not the ball. And it landed within about 6 feet of the catcher trying to find it. That's unusual at the Lake Point complex. It must have been just directly over the light pole.
Yeah, and it's still kind of this time of the night where it's going to play some tricks on you.
It's easier to see it when it's completely pitch black dark.
Which it is not, as Cole Dingler will take a trot down to first base after the payoff pitch missed ball 4. So Dingler will be aboard with 1 out, and that's going to bring up Everett Perkins, the third baseman, who is 1 for 1 with an RBI. Again, I cannot sing the praises enough about this young man who is a starting freshman. He was not in public school before his freshman year this year, so it's amazing to see his progress. And
pitch on the way to him.
That one.
It hit him, but it hit him whilst swinging.
And that's a hard strike right there.
It's a hard strike. It's a breaking pitch. You were going to try to turn on it. It broke in on you, and you're swinging on the ball that hits you in the forearms or on the knuckles.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Johnson is checking his right hand.
I'm thinking it caught him on the hand.
Yeah, they're going to give him the bat and make sure that he can grip the bat and squeeze the bat well. He's going to get a couple of warm-up swings there just to make sure everything feels good. But Coach Johnson took a look at that right hand, and as you can see,
he's shaking
Chief,
it off.
He's shaking it off.
I don't think there's an injury there, but there's definitely a hurt.
It's stinging him a good bit. So.
But you look at it, all of these players now or the vast majority of them, wear 2 batting gloves. We never did do that back in my time. You either wore no batting gloves or one on the bottom hand, but there is at least some degree of padding there.
Yeah, there's a little bit.
It's not much, but there's something there.
So Perkins now stands in after the hurtful strike 1.
Strike on the outside corner. You know, I'm always so impressed and so optimistic when I see freshmen that have earned a starting role because of how much maturity there is between a 9th grader and a senior. Finish that after this pitch. Ball called.
I tell you what, though, I think that pitch looked better than the previous one. It had a little movement on it, but
how much a young man develops between 14 and 17 or 18, and if you're a freshman and already capable of starting, what are you going to be when you're a senior?
Exactly.
Inside.
That one did clip
him. Yep, that one clipped him.
Not a lot, but enough to catch it, and the home plate umpire quickly sends Perkins down to first base. So the Dogs now with runners at first and second and 1 out, and it'll be Jack Roper. Jack is 1 for 1, and he had a big double during his first at bat, which came back in that second inning as well. So here we are in the bottom of the 4th with the Dogs. Hopefully something cooking, but so far tonight, Chief, they've had some difficulty cashing in those runners.
They've done 2 of the 3.
It's been tough.
Get them on, get them over.
But we got to get them.
Got to get them in.
We got to get them in, and that's something that we have struggled with. It's going to be another visit to the mound from the Woodland dugout, and Jack Roper will go over and talk to Coach Johnson there on the third base side. The whole infield coming into the mound as well, and so another mound visit for Woodland, who has a runner at first, or the Dogs with the runners, I should say, at first and second, with only 1 out so far. Cedartown is 1 run on 4 hits still. Woodland 1 run on 3 hits. So the hits have been at a premium here tonight. The runs even at a higher premium with it 1-1, bottom of the 4th.
Home plate umpire had enough and walked out there to break up the party on the mound. So now everybody's going to stroll back to their slots. And we'll see what young Mr. Roper can accomplish here.
You got Dingler out at second base. Everett Perkins over at first base after the hit by pitch. So a walk and a hit by pitch, and it's Jack Roper.
Stretch and delivery to Roper is a strike called.
Good pitch there by Lambert to battle back. We'll see how long Coach Eubanks gives the Wildcats.
I wonder if that mound visit was more of a delay tactic. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed for strike 2.
You know, it might have been, but I'm looking down into what should be the Wildcats bullpen, and I do not see anybody down there getting loose. Of course, both sides have the very nice dedicated bullpens.
Spin throw back to second base, not even close. More of a keeping Dingler honest than a actual effort to try to pick him off. Pitcher now nods the sign. Catcher sets up off the plate, and the pitch well off the plate. Threw it where he aimed. Once again, that was an effort to see if they could get Roper to swing it one off the plate. Didn't bite.
So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes against the Dogs left fielder.
And the pitch on the way. Tipped to stay alive.
I mean, caught just enough of that one to stay alive, did Roper, so he will live to see another pitch against Lambert.
Just kissed it as it went by.
So Roper standing back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. The Dogs trying to cash in some base runners.
And the pitch on the way, fouled away.
A walk and a hit batsman has put the Dogs on the base pads. Lambert trying not to let that spoil his party and keep the Dogs knotted up at 1 each, but Jack Roper looking to play the part of spoiler alert.
inside.
Just a bit. Two the count.
Fouled away again.
We've had a lot of those tonight, and that one again hits off of the roof. So the loud thud. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. 2 on, 1 out.
And the delivery. That should be strike 3. And it is. I don't know what Roper was looking for, but fooled on that pitch, froze him, strike 3.
We go back to the top of the order now in X Holiday, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
And now
we're going to have a pitching
Have
change.
a pitching change.
Yep, we'll have a pitching change for the Woodland Wildcats as head coach Eubanks is out to take the ball from Lambert. So that'll do it for Lambert tonight. We are in the bottom of the 4th. 2 on, 2 out, back to the top of the order. We'll take a 60-second break and come back to give you the new pitcher. You are listening to Cedartown High School Baseball here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Live Wire Surplus. Stop in today at 546 North Main Street. New items are arriving all the time. At Live Wire, they have unbelievable deals on lawnmowers, weed eaters, and leaf blowers. But that's not all. How about your patio? Live Wire has top-of-the-line grills, patio tables and chairs, fire pits, and so much more. All fresh off the truck, brand new, still packaged, and priced to sell. Live Wire Surplus, 678-861-5021. Take your truck. You're going to need it to load up on the savings. Coverage of Cedartown High School Bulldogs baseball on the Big AA is brought to you in part by Republican State Representative Trey Kelly of Cedartown.
This is Representative Trey Kelly. I want to wish all the players and coaches a safe and successful season. You've worked hard to represent us on the field, and I'm proud to represent you in the Georgia House of Representatives. Again, this is Representative Trey Kelly, and I want to thank you for listening to the Big AA. Go Dogs!
This announcement paid for by State Representative Trey Kelly, kellyforhouse.com.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big AA.
We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Dogs with runners at first and second and a pitching change for the Woodland Wildcats. It will be number 7, Lucas Baker, who will take over for Zach Lambert. Lambert going 3 2/3 innings. Now the runners on first and second are his responsibility, but so far his line is through 3 2/3, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So Baker will look to keep Woodland right where they are. The Dogs going back to the top of the order into the senior X Holiday, trying to mess up that final line. Cedartown again with runners on and a chance to put some more runs on the board. We haven't had a lot of success with that so far tonight, Chief, but a chance for the Dogs to cash in.
But a good opportunity right now to be able to knock that out. A great hitter at the plate, a couple of experienced base runners on the base paths.
Well, you got a senior out at second base in your lead runner in Dingler, and you got a senior at the plate in X Holiday who is 0 for 2 on the night, which means he's due for a hit.
Which means he's due.
So X will dig in against the new pitcher, Lucas Baker.
Stands in Baker from the stretch. The pitch popped up. Should be playable for the catcher. Nope, right off the roof, just barely.
And in case you think we might be telling a story, you would have been able to hear it there. That one rolls back into play, so X will climb back in against Baker. Holiday, one of the few seniors on this Bulldog squad, another Bulldog team that's full of underclassmen that will definitely be the future of this Dogs program moving forward as they move into a region against this Woodland team. Of course, Cedartown also going to be in that region with Dalton. Cartersville, Allatoona will be in that region.
Pitcher stretches, delivers well off the plate for a ball to Holiday.
We will keep Southeast Whitfield, the Raiders. And they, just as a note for the future, although they will play football in the fall of 2024.
Ball off the plate.
They will not compete in a region type schedule, so they're not going to play the region schedule. So Cedartown will not play Southeast Whitfield in football in 2024. That's a conversation for a whole nother day, but just as a side note.
Chopped it off foul at the plate.
That one came awfully close to our microphone. Thankfully,
it certainly did.
Thankfully, it missed it, though. I think that one also might have caught a little bit of Clower's face mask as it came back. But the deuces are wild. It is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on and 2 out, with X Holiday at the plate. We need a base hit here from the Bulldogs senior.
Catcher sets up dang near in the dugout. Pitch way off the plate. Throw down to second. That was a unofficial pitch out.
Correct. Yep. The problem is everybody, including Stevie Wonder, was able to see that one. We all knew where that one was going.
Yeah, he didn't just set up. I mean, he set up beyond the opposite batter's box. Catcher scooching outside now. Pitcher set, stretch, delivers, runners moving. Ball 4, everybody will advance. Bases juiced for the Bulldogs.
And even had that been just ball 3, the runners would have moved up because it got away from Clowers. So now the bases are going to be loaded, and it'll be the number 2 man in the lineup for the Dogs in Ace Allen. He is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout, and the Dogs, again, with a chance to put some runs on the board and break up this 1-1 tie that has been so since the bottom of the second inning. And it looks like Coach Johnson's going to have a quick conversation with the home plate umpire. We're going to have a courtesy runner come in for X Holiday. We will check it, and I believe that is going to be Yarber. And it is. So Jacob Yarber will come out. He will be the pinch runner or the courtesy runner for X Holiday over at first base. So as it stands now, you've got Yarber over at first, Everett Perkins at second, and Cole Dingler standing over at third base with Ace Allen at the plate. Bases juiced right now, all full of Dogs. A chance to bust it wide open with one good swing of the bat.
Score 2, at least. Pitch on the way. Inside, ball 1.
Good take there by Ace. That one ran inside on Baker, who has come in relief of Lambert. The runner out at second and third both belong to Lambert. Ace is ahead in the count.
Delivery on the way. Strike called.
So the count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Baker working quickly.
And the pitch on the way to Allen is rocketed out to the second baseman that stabs a line drive to end the inning. You can't hit it any harder, Sam, but a good play by the second baseman to save 2 runs. So with 4 innings in the book, Cedartown fans, the score remains Cedartown 1, Woodland 1.
Cedar Stream, the industry leader in screen printed apparel. They offer screen printing, embroidery, and signs and banners. At Cedar Stream, they have a fully automated screen printing facility here in Cedartown with the ability to efficiently and effectively distribute products all over the United States. Cedar Stream is a local family-run business with a big vision. Contact Cedar Stream today to find out what they can do for you. 800-686-7488 or cedarstream.com. Cedar Stream, shirts, it's what we do.
Hey, it's the Border Mexican Restaurant located at 718 North Main Street right here in Cedartown. Their phone number, 678-246-1031. They serve a wide variety of your favorite Mexican food made fresh daily. Great food, great fun. It's great for the whole family. Come see us at the Border Restaurant right here on Main Street in Cedartown. Or you can call for takeout at 678-246-1031. The Border Mexican Restaurant is the best Mexican food north of the border. That's the Border Restaurant right here in Cedartown.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big AA.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, to Cedartown High School Bulldogs baseball on your home of Cedartown High School Athletics, Cedartown's own WGAA. Cedartown playing Woodland at Lake Point Complex in Emerson. Top of the 5th inning about to be underway. Long, low-scoring game thus far. Cedartown, Woodland put up 1 in the top of the 1st. Cedartown put up 1 in the bottom of the 2nd. And it's been a long string of zeros since then, Sam.
It has 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Wildcats. It'll be Luan leading things off, who made that phenomenal play out there at second base for the Wildcats that preserves the tie, as Cedartown had the bases loaded. Holiday still dealing for the Dogs.
And the pitch to him is outside, ball 1.
X working pretty quickly. Ooh.
And that hit him.
I'm wondering where it got him, because it made a little pop, almost like it would have.
It almost
like it hit the bat.
Or if he's got.
If he's got, I don't know. I'm looking to see if he's got some type of plastic or something.
That's what I was thinking. Or maybe it hit him before it hit the bat.
It hit the bat, and I think what it did is it hit right there on the butt of the bat there, because he's shaking that left hand.
Yeah.
So Luan is hit by a pitch, and he goes out to first base. That's going to be the second hit batsman for X of the night. And Coach Johnson's coming out and talking to the home plate umpire while the Dogs have a meeting on the mound. I think Coach Johnson just wants to make sure that he gets an explanation from the umpire on the hit by pitch, but it looks like he was satisfied with that.
Probably said it grazed his shoulder and then hit the bat.
Yeah,
you heard what you heard, Coach, but
you got that one right.
Hit him first.
So that'll bring up Luke Evans. He comes to the plate with a runner on and nobody out. That one was close
to getting picked off at first.
I've been very pleased with not only Holiday's performance on the mound tonight, but also with the defense for the Dogs, playing strong.
Runner with the big lead at first, squares the bunt, throw back down to first, in there safely.
Of course, Dingler over at first base is pretty much a stone wall for you when it comes to, defensively. He's there making the stretches and making plays that probably a lot of other first basemen wouldn't be able to make, but that's just the Bulldogs' senior leadership there from Dingler. Again, the throw down to first. This one not as close, as the runner is back without a slide. So X keeping Luan close. They know what they have in front of them. And that's a runner at first and nobody out, and we're in a tie ball game. So this could end up being one run could win it.
Strike called. Yeah, I played on this Bulldogs team with Dingler's dad.
Not to age anybody.
But and I was older.
There you go. Throw down
Snap,
to first
throw
again,
back to first, in there safely. But just by 1 year.
Just by 1 year.
Yeah.
X keeping.
I'm 32 and he's 31.
Well, that sounds right. X keeping Luan very close over at first base.
Pitch on the way, runner takes off, throw down to second. He's going to be in there safely. Ball gets by the second baseman, but Cedartown center fielder doing his job. Throw came in from the catcher, and he's charging in from center field to back it up. You sometimes that is forgotten, that's a role that you've got to do that job in the outfield. Their job is not only to catch hits to the outfield, but to back up the infield and be anticipating.
Same thing with the left fielder and right fielder.
That's right.
They have jobs at all time. There are no once you get to this level, there are no picking daisies out in the outfield per se, as there might have been back when they were much younger.
T-ball. Pitch on the way, inside.
Oh, that was a good pitch, though, there by X, it looked like, at least from my vantage point. So the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Evans.
Bounced up there. Good stop by the Cedartown catcher.
Williams is on deck. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and then we would go back to the top of the order to Sturmer.
Strike called.
Got him looking a full count, and Holiday delivers on the payoff pitch, so that'll be the first out of the inning, and this will bring up Williams, the left fielder, who has also been a victim of the strikeout tonight.
That was a breaking ball that X started out at about the batter's hip and broke it in across the inside part of the plate, just as me and Andrew would say, gave him the jiggle knees.
That is Holiday's 4th strikeout of the night. So far, Holiday has faced 17 Wildcat batters, has thrown a total of 56 pitches. 37 of those have been for strikes, as he is through 4 1/3, as it looks like we're going to maybe have a pinch hitter change in the lineup, it looks like, coming from Coach Eubanks.
There's a young man with the number 25 on his jersey, and I don't have the number 25 in the lineup.
He's all the way at the bottom there. Brett Good.
Brett Good, yes.
Now, if that's not a baseball name, I don't know what to tell you. So Brett Good, wearing the famous number 25 of Andrew Jones, the legendary center fielder for the Atlanta Braves, who has yet to make it into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And if Andrew Jones is snubbed, that'll be the biggest snub to a Braves player since Dale Murphy. You got that right. My goodness. X will go to work against Good.
Strike call.
Speaking of Good, that was a good pitch there by Holiday. It had a lot of movement on it, that breaking ball that landed in there for a good called strike one from the home plate umpire, and X is ahead in the count. Luwan taking his lead out at second.
High and away. You know, that Dale Murphy conversation, I think more people should take into account that for several years there, he was the only Atlanta Brave that could hit water if he fell out of a boat.
The only. He was on some really bad teams.
Yeah, and they pitched around him for so many years. Strike called. Because I remember being a kid, and me and my dad go to a Braves game, and if you got dugout seats, they might ask you to play.
Yeah. Luckily, though, we have not had that problem as of late.
Many years. Pitch on the way, outside.
The year that I was born was the year that the Braves would start their fantastic run of division championships in 91. That was the year, of course, they would go from worst to first. They would win the World Series in 95. It would take us only a year to get back there, but we would fall in 96, and then it was an eternity before we would go back again. But the Braves picking up the World Series just a few seasons ago against the Houston Astros, and depending on who you talk to, are one of the favorites to come out of the National League again, but they're going to have some company there at the top, I think. Show me the money. Ohtani has got a good team out there in L.A. The Dodgers are always tough. Of course, the Phillies can cause us fits, it feels like, and they don't mess with us until it gets to October, and then it just falls apart. But
did I hear you just say you were born that year?
Yes.
I was hoping that was not what I heard. I watched the Sid Bream slide, Braves win, Braves win, at work at the Polk County Sheriff's Office.
and I had to watch reruns of it just to know what happened.
Pitch on the way. Strike three called. Another beautiful pitch to set down a Woodland batter by Holiday looking.
And as you could tell from the reaction, the Wildcat faithful not happy with that call, but it will be the second out of the inning. So X with the runner out at second base trying to pitch out of trouble. Both of these teams playing good baseball here in a 1-1 tie in the fifth inning. It's back to the top of the order in Connor Sturmer, and he looks at one up and in for ball one.
The windup in the pitch on the way. Strike called.
Out of the American League, they are predicting the Yankees are going to be tough, as well as the Baltimore Orioles. The defending champion Texas Rangers are going to be a team to contend with. Of course, for some reason, those dirty, rotten, cheating Astros just continue to hang around.
Off the end of the bat, Dingler gets it at first base. Going to have to flip over to first with Holiday covering, and a beautiful execution on a difficult play. 3-1 for the putout. And down go the Woodland
the
Wildcats.
The feral felines.
I love that. The feral felines of Woodland. And our beloved Bulldogs are still locked up in a 1-1 tie, about to be going into the bottom half of the fifth inning after a few words from our Bulldog sponsors.
Bradford's Drugstore on North Main Street in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember Bradford's for all of your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacist takes time to get to know you, explain your medication, and answer any questions that you may have. Go by and see Bill Brewster and all the fine folks at Bradford's the next time you need a prescription filled. Also use their convenient drive-thru. Bradford's Drugstore, 500 North Main Street, Cedartown, 770-748-3100. And all the folks at Bradford say, go Dogs.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big AA.
It's the bottom of the fifth inning. The Dogs still knotted up against the Woodland Wildcats. 1 run apiece. Cedartown has had opportunities to put some runs on the board, and we've just failed to do so. Woodland has also had a chance or two, and the Bulldog defense, behind the outstanding pitching performance of Holiday, have held them at bay. So 2 teams hooking up against each other, clashing with 1 run apiece, and it will be Tony Ware who will lead things off for the Dogs. 3, 4, and 5 due up here in the bottom of the fifth. Cedartown High School Baseball here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network, the Big AA, AM 1340, 106.1 FM, and tonight, audio only on Facebook.
And Tony Ware stands in and takes ball 1, bounced it up there. Time for the Bulldogs to go beyond. We've done the get them on, we've done the get them over, but not been able to push a run over since the second inning. Time to complete this. Hit out to shortstop. Third baseman actually cuts across, cuts it off, throws over, and gets him by a half step. If the shortstop continues on and fields that ball, he doesn't throw him out. So that's good communication. Both of them were charging in on it, but the third baseman had the only line to be able to complete that out.
It is Lucas Baker on the mound for Woodland. He would come in relief of Zach Lambert. And after getting out of that bases-loaded jam, the line is officially done on the night for Lambert. He finishes the night 3 2/3 with that 1 run, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So the Dogs here with an out, and it will bring up Samuel Formby, the Dogs' right fielder, who is 0 for 2.
Wind up in the pitch, low and outside for ball 1.
Formby also is due a good hit for the Dogs. His bat has been a productive one for Cedartown in that middle part of the order, which has really shown the most productivity for the Dogs as of late.
High and inside for ball 2.
You have seen opportunities where both Holiday and Allen would get hot. Tony Ware is pretty consistent as far as his time at the plate offensively for the Dogs.
Strike called.
But it's been that middle part of the order, and Samuel Formby, Caleb Formby when he's in the lineup, Owen Jarrell, Cade Dingler, of course, Dalen Holiday, the big DH coming through for the Dogs a lot.
Pitch on the way, hit out to second base sharply. Second baseman catches it, throws over to first. 4 out, number 2.
So far the Dogs have gone down in order, and it will be the designated hitter, Dalen Holiday. He's going to come to the plate. Nobody on, 2 out, bottom half of the fifth inning in a 1-1 ball game. Baker comes set, and he's ready to go.
Wind up delivery to Holiday is off the plate for ball 1. These games here in these tournaments have time limits. This one is down to 29 minutes. They won't start an inning after the expiration of the time. Fouled out of play. Will it hit the roof?
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Lifted out of play and onto the roof. That one almost sounded like one of those mortar fireworks that you get on the 4th of July that I may or may not shoot in my front yard occasionally. Now, to be honest, well, I can't be honest about that. We're on the radio. And with the city police chief sitting beside me, I may not want to be honest about that one. I might just have to keep that one in my pocket.
Yeah, keep that one in your pocket. Reel that up.
Yep. Save that one for another day.
And the windup, the pitch on the way off the plate for a ball.
Again, missing outside is Baker. And I tell you, Holiday is a dangerous hitter. I don't blame him for going out there. Of course, there are 2 outs, and you want to get out of the inning, but you got a base open. We'll see how aggressively he goes after Holiday. Misses again outside. That one might have been one of the closer ones of the 3, though, that have missed. But the count is now 3 balls, 1 strike, and all 3 pitches missing to the outside part of the plate.
I'd stay away from him, too. The pitch. Fouled away. Gave him the meat of the plate on that one. Holiday wishes he had that one back.
Yeah, he wishes he could do that one all over again. The count now full against the Dogs DH. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 out.
Sets up inside now, does the catcher, and rips it base hit out to right field.
And that's exactly what Dalen Holiday does.
You know what I'm thinking? You know, if you guess and you get it right, you're a genius. If you guess and you get it wrong, you're a goat. But when the catcher set up and then half shifted to the inside half of the plate, I'm thinking, yeah, throw it there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, throw it right there.
And that's what he did.
And that's
Holiday,
what he did, and he ripped the hide off of it.
He made him pay. Dalen now 2 for 3 on the night with a run scored. He has a single and a double, and he will have a courtesy runner come in for him.
Especially with a left-handed batter, I can't talk to you about the why, but just about every lefty that I knew that was a middle of the lineup power kind of guy, stay outside on him.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Going back generations, you take that strong lefty, he likes the ball on the inside part of the plate.
And that's exactly where they put it for Holiday. So Cole Cochran will be the courtesy runner for Holiday out at first base, and it's going to be the second baseman, Owen Jarrell, who is 0 for 1 on the night.
From the stretch, the delivery is going to be high for strike 1.
You want to talk about a deliberate call there from the home plate umpire. You hit that one. You hit that nail right on the head. That one was very deliberate.
I'll give it another half second next time. Ball.
There we go. I like it. That one missing inside against Jarrell, so the count now 1 ball and 1 strike.
Looking in from the stretch, runner takes his lead at first. The delivery on the way. Ball.
Did that one miss upstairs, I'm wondering?
I believe.
It looked like a good pitch coming there from Baker, but it is a ball, so Jarrell now ahead in the count, 2 ball, 1 strike.
Ripped out to shortstop. Shortstop flips over to second for out number 3. So once again, the Cedartown Bulldogs get runners on board and not able to do anything with it. That will close the book on inning number 5 with the score still Cedartown 1, Woodland 1.
Cedar Valley Golf Course has been the place to play golf in Cedartown and Polk County for nearly a century. Locally owned and operated since 1924, Cedar Valley Golf Course offers 18 holes of some of the most beautiful fairways and greens in the area. Cedar Valley Golf Course is a proud supporter of the Cedartown High School Bulldogs and the greater Cedartown and Polk County region. Call for tee time 770-748-9671, located just south of Cedartown at 1811 Buchanan Highway. Cedartown's original golf course, Cedar Valley Golf Course. Cedartown Automotive is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. For oil changes, new tires, or tire repair, brake work, tune-ups, air conditioner service, or repair, think of Cedartown Automotive. Cedartown Automotive is a longtime supporter of Cedartown High School athletics here on WGAA. Cedartown Automotive on East Avenue in Cedartown. Give them a call today at 770-749-5040 or stop by their beautiful location for fast and friendly service. And all the folks at Cedartown Automotive say, go Dogs!
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big AA.
Welcome back to Bulldogs baseball, Cedartown fans. Jamie Newsom and Sam Branch, pleased to bring you Cedartown High School Bulldogs baseball on the Big AA, 1340 AM. Cedartown playing Woodland at Lake Point facility here in Emerson. Been a low-scoring game. A good pitching duel, good defensive execution by both teams, but top half of the sixth inning about to get started, and it is still 1-1.
Ra Ware will take over on the mound for the Dogs, so the night is done for Xavier Holiday, at least pitching-wise. He will move out to his regular position out at shortstop. That'll move Ace Allen back over to third base, and Everett Perkins will come out of the game at least defensively for Cedartown. The final line for X Holiday, 5 innings, 1 run on 3 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Faced 19 batters through 64 pitches, 42 of which were for strikes. So a good outing for X Holiday. He will turn things over to Ra Ware, and it will be 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Wildcats here in the top of the 6th. It will be Clowers, the Wildcat backstop, to lead things off. He is 0 for 1 on the night. Ra looked good in his last outing for Cedartown. It was only for an inning, but he made short work of the Bruins and secured a win.
Strike for the first pitch. Good way to start it off.
Cedartown in their first of the 3 games here for the Battle of Bartow. They will play 2 more tomorrow.
Ball inside.
Cedartown will face off against Whitewater. That first game will be at 2 p.m. We will broadcast that one and have video available for that game, as well as the second game, which will be underway around 7 against Cartersville.
Ball inside, 2-1 to count.
Like you said earlier, Chief, with the time limit on these games, those times are going to be a lot more precise than when we tell you, well, game 1's going to start at 5, and we hope game 2 is starting around 7:30.
That's right. Ripped foul.
And when you say ripped, you mean ripped.
Yeah, that ball was off the plate inside, and he got his hands clear of the zone, got the head of the bat on it, just a little far ahead of it, pulled it foul.
That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The wind up in the pitch almost hit him.
So that one misses inside, and that'll run the count full.
Catcher there didn't make much effort to get out of the way. I like it.
And he didn't get out of the way on
that ball was going to hit him, as Forrest Gump would say, on the buttocks.
On the buttocks.
And he just stood there and took it like a catcher. Take it on the buttocks and do not rub it.
That's right. So Clowers will jog down to first base, and the leadoff man is aboard for the Wildcats. And now it will be the third baseman for Woodland to the plate, and that is
They said
Aiden
that
Ray.
was $1 million wound, but you know somebody else must get that money.
Yeah, exactly. You got that right. Tell you what, though, he would go on to make his money.
Yeah.
All thanks to the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company.
Yeah. Somebody else got that money. Pitch on the way, well off the plate for a ball.
I really think one of my favorite scenes in that movie, which I have watched probably close to 100 times, is when he's on the shrimp boat and he just jumps off and jumps into the water. It's when I guess it's when he sees Lieutenant Dan and he just
snap throw to first, back in there safely.
And he just starts waving like a fool, and I mean just dives off, and he's going to see Lieutenant Dan as the boat keeps going.
Inside.
Hearing the
I
disagreement from some of the Cedartown faithful now on that.
I remember walking out of the movie theater when that movie was released after watching it, looking at Leanne and saying, now what do you make of that? What? hit out to shortstop. Chance for a double play. Got him at second, but not at first. It was going to be an off chance at a double play. That ball was slow. It was a slow roller. If it had been more sharply hit, it's going to be 6-4-3. But it was a slow roller. But got the lead runner.
So that'll bring up Mason Williams, who comes to the plate with the runner over at first base and one out. Williams is 1 for 2 on the night with an RBI and a strikeout. So are you telling me that when you walked out of the movie theater, you did not say to Leanne, that one's going to be a blockbuster that we're still going to be watching 30 years from now?
I don't remember whether I said, but I remember saying, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But now, wow, that was interesting.
I bet so.
But that movie grows on you.
Yeah, it does. Williams heading the count, 1 ball, no strikes.
It's kind of like the 9 people that went to see Alabama at the Cedartown City Auditorium. Swung on and missed at the plate, but the runner steals second on the. It looked like a hit and run because the batter swung at a ball that was a foot and a half off the plate, swung at it late,
and it was an awkward swing on top of that. But the runner does advance, so Ray now stands down at second base, and Williams has the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mason Williams, the Wildcat center fielder, looks at one well out of the zone outside, so the count now 2 balls and 1 strike.
There's probably somebody listening that says, I was at the auditorium when Alabama came. I was one of those 9.
Probably so. Probably so.
And the pitch. Another hit batsman.
Whoa. All right, so
what's the debate here? Is somebody saying he swung at that? Because the ball clearly hit him in the back.
I don't know.
What did you see, Sam?
I saw what I thought you saw. We're waiting to see if we can get some confirmation as the pitching coach, Josh Smith, goes out to talk to Ra Ware. This is what we've got right now. Williams is still standing in the batter's box. Ray has moved up from second base to third base. I think they're calling a balk.
I was just about to say, if they've got this runner at third, but they're keeping him at the plate, they had to have called a balk.
Well, according to Game Changer, that's what she scored it at downstairs.
She scored it as a balk. Thank you, Game Changers, people.
So the official call will be a balk. So Ray will move up to third base, and it looks like our game next door has come to a close with, I believe, your guys coming out on top.
That is correct. Houston County took the lead in about the third inning and maintained it for the remainder of the game and have defeated the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes 2-1. The windup and the pitch inside.
So tonight it sounds like it was a little more of a tropical depression than a hurricane.
Yes. So Guy Sharp got that one wrong.
So congratulations to Houston County.
Wind up in the pitch on the way. Ball 4.
So Ra having trouble locating the strike zone, and we've got runners at the corners. And only 1 out. So that will bring up number 20, Logan Bentley, the first baseman. Bentley is 0 for 2. Ace Allen coming out to talk to Ra quickly. And now it looks like we are ready to go back to work, but the Wildcats, in what could potentially be a 1-run game once this is all over with. Chief and I were saying during the break that this might be one of those where the next run wins, just the way that this game has taken place throughout the night. 1 run for Woodland back in the first inning, a run for Cedartown in the second inning. Outside of that, it's been quiet. Cedartown only with 5 hits on the night. The Wildcats only with 3. That
pitch
one
on
misses.
The way off the plate.
Ra is struggling here, Jamie. And
he certainly is.
And, you know, in this type of situation, you're going to see what Coach Johnson does. Is he more worried about picking up a win, or is he more worried about seeing if his pitcher can and seeing if he can pitch through the adversity?
Squares the bunt, bunts at it, but it's a strike. Well, we said the same at the beginning. What's your purpose here tonight? Is your purpose here tonight to try to win a tournament, or is your purpose here tonight to work some bugs out in preparation for winding the season up? I say that the value is more in, okay, this one's yours. Work through it.
Absolutely, I agree. I would much rather go 0 for 3 and work out some kinks than go 3-0 and not learn anything.
Strike called.
Good pitch there by Raw Ware.
Great call. Great call.
So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. I sense a bit of sarcasm in that one.
Yes. Yeah. The danger in having a microphone on the field.
I know it. Sometimes we catch some things that we don't like.
Yes. Swung on and fouled out of play.
So the count will remain 1-2 on the Wildcats hitter Bentley. He's had a good game tonight over at first base defensively for Woodland. Time called. Of course, Ra might have just stepped off, but either way, we'll back it out and reset and do it again. Runners on the corners for the Wildcats. Still knotted up 1-1, throw over to first, and it gets away from Dingler. That's one of the few mistakes that we've made tonight, and it's going to cost us a run. And the Woodland Wildcats have jumped back out to a lead, and it's 2-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. A bad throw from Raw Ware over to first base. Dingler not able to clean it up, and Ray comes in to score from third. And the runner is going to go to third and takes off, and he is safe.
Turned his back.
We were
on
not
the runner.
paying attention.
Just,
and that is something that I have seen us do more than once this season, and unfortunately, I think that's just one of the signs of a young team.
It is.
Experience will fix that.
Getting something happen that kind of took the wind out of your sails, and then lollygagging for a few seconds.
That's
and when
exactly.
you're playing a team that's that is experienced, is aggressive, and you have one moment of lollygagging,
they're going to take
advantage of it.
Yep, they're going to jump all over it. Ra's pitch was down in the dirt, so the count now 2-2.
Almost another hit batsman.
And you just got to work through this. This has been a good opportunity for Ra to learn a few things.
Well, and this may very well be the last inning. Hit out to second base. Second baseman tries to come home with it, and the throw is not in time. Gets away from the catcher. Runner advances out to second, and he is safe. So another run in. That right there is another example, folks, of indecision, or maybe an incorrect decision. Ball was hit out to second base. There is a sure out. An out as certain as the turning of the earth at home, but there's a runner barreling towards home plate, and you have no chance of getting him.
No, your play is at first.
Your play is at first. Concede the run, but
and you live to fight another day.
But what we got is the run in and didn't make the out.
And the runner from first now stands at second
He's now
base.
advanced at second base.
And you've got a courtesy runner that's going to go out for Bentley.
Well, and as we said about the time, it is the top half of the 6th, game slated for 7 innings, but there's 11 minutes on the clock, and Cedartown still has to bat in the bottom of the inning. So unless Cedartown records the outs, ends this inning, and then goes 3 up, 3 down.
This is game right here.
This is probably, Cedartown's going to have one more at bat.
Joshua Hicks will be the batter for Woodland. He is the designated hitter, and he is 0 for 2 on the night with a strikeout. So courtesy runner out at second base. And Raw Ware will go to work against the DH.
Popped up. Dingler under it, calls for it, squeezes it for the out.
So that'll be the second out of the inning, and that will bring up the second baseman.
Yeah,
and Connor Luan.
And you know, it's one reason I don't like the clock in baseball, but coaches can use it.
Yes, they can.
You know, I mean, what you do? You go out there and talk to your pitcher unnecessarily.
Yep,
burn
you
2.5
slow
minutes.
things down. And
Hit
that
him
one
in the
plucks him. Yep. That one hurt. Right.
Is that the third hit batsman?
I believe so. Plunked him right between the 2 and the 1 on the back, so he will go down to first base, and that will bring up number 9, Luke Evans. 8-man in the lineup. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So Ra Ware trying to work through some adversity. He's already given up 2 runs. He's now got a runner at first and second and 2 outs, trying to get out of the inning. So Ra comes set, and he's ready to go to work against Evans.
And the pitch on the way is off the plate for a ball. And what you see is umpires less likely to give you the borderline pitch when you've been inconsistent.
And when you're missing that
when
badly,
you're missing
absolutely.
Badly.
You are very right about that.
You know, you look at a pitcher that he threw it 1.5 inches off the plate, and he threw it there on purpose.
Yep.
And he's been putting it there all night.
Right.
The umpire's a lot more likely to give it to him.
But you got somebody that's missing a foot outside in the other batter's box, and you're not going to get that inch
You're
and a
not
half
going to get the
call.
1.5 inches off, no.
That one was fouled off, so the count is now even at 1-1.
Pitch on the way. Strike call. 3-1 the score. Top half of the 6th inning. But tick-tock, tick-tock, 7 minutes left on the game clock. A little slow roller out, foul down the third base line.
Thank goodness. Otherwise, we were going to have the bases loaded.
Yes.
Because that was such a
No
slow
way
roller.
you was gonna throw him
No,
out.
Ace Allen was going to have no shot at all. So thankfully that one did go foul, and the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Ra Ware still trying to record the third out of the inning. A big inning for the Wildcats here in the top of the 6th, and they've jumped out to a 2-run lead, 3-1.
Strike 3 called. So down go the Wildcats. But they put up 2 to take the lead by a score of 3-1. We'll be back after a few words from our Bulldog sponsors to see if the Dogs can close this gap and not lose this ball game.
Looking for a good used vehicle? Don't go out of town. Come see the folks at Dingler Motor Company, 526 North Main Street. Bad credit, no problem. Dingler Motor Company can get you back on the road in no time with their in-house financing. Top quality pre-owned late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Stop by and check out their wide selection at 526 North Main Street across from Livewire Surplus. Call them at 770-748-0906. Search them on Facebook at Dingler Motor Co. That's Dingler Motor Company.
Rocky and Patty Tillery, 2 Cedartown High School graduates, and they stayed right here in the county and went into business. They employ right at 100 people, and they've been doing that for a long time. Most of their work is from out of the county, but they want to push our youngsters here, no matter what they're doing, Little League, Pony League, high school baseball, basketball, football, and soccer, and that's Polk County Public Service. They appreciate serving you.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big AA.
It'll be the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's going to be, thanks to the time clock, last chance for the Dogs, probably. There's only, 7 minutes left on that clock, and Cedartown trails Woodland 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. The Wildcats striking for 2 in the top of the 6th.
And, you know, I said it, but then after I said it, I thought, when I said 11 minutes, I said, but, 11 minutes can be an eternity in baseball.
It can.
And you look at, there's 7 minutes on the clock right now. We may get 7 in.
We might, but we will have to wait and see.
The good thing about it is if Cedartown lasts for 7 minutes,
yep,
They've
They've
got
done
runners
something
on.
right.
Yeah,
they've done something right. Exactly. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 due up for Cedartown. It'll be Dingler, Perkins, and Roper. So far, those three, Dingler 0 for 1, Perkins 1 for 1 with an RBI, and Roper 1 for 2.
I got a good idea what could happen. We could put up about 3 or 4 runs and eat up that 7 innings and end it that way.
I'd be fine with that.
We could do that.
I would be fine with that.
And we could start it off right here with Dingler.
So Dingler will come to the plate, looking still for his first hit of the night, and it could not come at a better time here. 0 for 1 with a walk on the night.
Pitcher looks in, looks like he's going to start off from the windup. Dingler digs in. And the bottom half of the 6th inning is officially underway. The first pitch on the way, swung on and missed.
Big cut there by Dingler. It is still Lucas Baker who is out on the mound for Woodland, came in relief of Lambert.
And I knew something
pitched
was
well.
fishy with the clock. It's 4 minutes, not 7. I knew that 7 minutes was lasting way too long. Strike 2. That minute number 7 was up there for about 5 minutes, but now we're right.
Now we're right. So I tell you though, if Dingler could just hit one back up the middle,
or put one out there in them pine trees,
I'd take that as well. But he's down
the
in the count 0-2.
The pitch bounced it up there for a ball.
Also a pretty good gap there over there in right center.
Yeah, they're playing him a shift to the left.
Dingler, one of the leaders on this Bulldog squad, trying to come through for him here.
Ball off the plate, gets away from the catcher.
So the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Baker working in his 3rd inning of work here.
Delivery on the way, swung on and missed. Down goes Dingler on strikes for the first out of the 6th inning.
So that'll bring up Jay O'Neill. He's going to be inserted into the lineup, and he will bat for Everett Perkins, who was playing over at 3rd base and came out when we had the pitching change. So O'Neill will grab a bat here.
The windup and the pitch on the way to him, fouled out of play.
We have seen O'Neill do some DHing. We have also seen him come in relief. He also got a start.
He did.
For the Dogs. So during the Northwest
Series.
Of course, O'Neill coming off of that rehab from Tommy John surgery last year.
Pitch on the way to him, bounced.
We already know that young man will be playing at the next level. So O'Neill stands in now with the count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, 1 out. Dogs trailing by 2.
Delivery on the way to O'Neill, fouled away again. Fighting hard is O'Neill.
That one once again also finding the roof. And it looks like we might be the last game still underway.
We are. The complex is empty except for us.
Cartersville falling to Houston County just a few moments ago.
Strike 3 called, down goes O'Neill looking.
Cedartown will face off against Cartersville tomorrow. O'Neill the 2nd out of the inning, and it's going to be up to Jack Roper.
And the pitcher, the coach for Woodland doing exactly what I said.
Burning the clock.
About a minute and a half left on that clock.
Burn it, baby.
And he is going to talk to his pitcher until that home plate umpire goes out there and makes him go back to the dugout.
I don't blame him one single bit.
No, nothing in what I'm saying is a criticism.
No, not at all. Game management. Look, you see this a lot of times, too, in the way that football coaches and basketball coaches manage their timeouts.
I don't like the clock in baseball for any reason. But if they're going to put it up there and I'm a coach,
then I'm going to use it
because my opponent's going to use it.
And we're actually going to have a pitching change.
And that's there you go.
So it'll be a new pitcher. So let's take a 60-second break, and we'll come back and give you the details on the new pitcher. And we will see if Jack Roper can keep this one alive for the Dogs. 3-1 is your score. We'll be back after this 60-second break here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Are you ready for steel equipment, that is? At Croker's Hardware in Cedartown, we've got all the steel equipment. Blowers and shredder vacs, chainsaws, augers and drills, trimmers and brush cutters. We're very proud to be a retailer for the steel product line. As an independent dealer, we can provide many services that the big box chain stores just can't match. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff is always ready to help you select the equipment that meets your specific needs. So call Croker's for a steel today. That's 770-748-4842 to learn more about steel in Cedartown.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Georgia needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big AA.
And the night is done for Lucas Baker. He will finish going 2 innings, giving up just 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. The new pitcher for the Woodland Wildcats is J.D. Trail. He will come on and face Jack Roper with the bases empty and 2 outs. Chief?
Yes.
This is it right here.
It is.
Roper has got to get on to continue the inning. Cedartown trailing 3-1. The clock will officially expire. And so this is going to be it, folks. We will not make it to the 7th inning. It's all going to be down to Roper. The Dogs in the first of a 3-game series here at Lake Point in the battle for Bartow. Of course, Cedartown will be facing off against Woodland come next year. They will join the region along with other teams like Allatoona, Dalton, Cartersville, Hiram. The Hornets are going to be coming to town to play some. So a different look.
The clock has officially expired. Now,
different look for the region coming up. This is it.
Cedartown's got to put up 2 with 2 outs and the bases empty.
It's going to be up to Jack Roper, the Bulldogs left fielder.
Pitcher from the windup. First pitch on the way to Roper. Swung on and missed. Strike 1.
We'll have a full recap of the game for you tomorrow on Sports Talk. 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, and then, of course, the afternoon edition of the news.
And the windup. 1-1 the count.
The Atlanta Braves will have their home opener tomorrow night as they will take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Spencer Strider will get the start. He was originally scheduled to start Wednesday's game, but since that one was canceled, he will be the starter for the home opener for the Bravos. So the season opener and the home opener.
2-1 now the count to Roper.
Atlanta 3-2 on the season and atop the National League East. Women's Final Four also tomorrow night.
Strike 2 called.
So the Dogs down to their final strike. Jack Roper. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 out. Dogs trail by 2. Cedartown trying to pick up a win here in game 1, but it's going to be up to Roper.
Pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and down go the Dogs by a score of 3-1 against Woodland here in game 1 of their 3-game set at this Battle of Bartow at Lake Point Park.
Let's take a 60-second break. We'll come back and wrap this one up. You're listening to Cedartown High School Baseball here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network, the Big AA.
Make the right play. Go to Peach State Ford in Cedartown today.
Rush to Peach State Ford in Cedartown. Peach State Ford has a championship lineup of new and pre-owned vehicles. Peach State Ford is now open in your backyard.
Peach State Ford is proud to be part of your local community. Whether you're waiting for your vehicle to get serviced, picking up a part for your vehicle, or stopping by to check out a new vehicle for yourself, Peach State Ford offers a wide range of amenities to enhance your experience. Peach State Ford in Cedartown, 2076 Rockmart Highway, 770-748-3673. Livewire Surplus. Stop in today at 546 North Main Street. New items are arriving all the time. At Livewire, they have unbelievable deals on lawnmowers, weed eaters, and leaf blowers. But that's not all. How about your patio? Livewire has top-of-the-line grills, patio tables and chairs, fire pits, and so much more. All fresh off the truck, brand new, still packaged, and priced to sell. Live Wire Surplus, 678-861-5021. Take your truck. You're going to need it to load up on the savings.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big AA.
Well, surprise, surprise, folks, we will play the 7th inning. Jamie Newsom and I just apparently have no idea what we're talking about, and it's going to be a 7th inning.
You know, you've got this thing. I've got this. This is great. We just put up a clock that doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. Hey, I'm okay with
this. This is great.
I like it.
I think it's interesting. It adds another dynamic to the game.
It is. So sorry about that, Tyrone. I know you were probably getting ready to head to the house. I hope you're didn't call in any order that you got to go pick up or anything like that. So we will play the 7th inning, and it'll be Owen Pilgrim who will come in relief of Ra Ware, who gave up 2 runs and would surrender the lead.
It makes me wonder if the coaches didn't even know, or look at it, because they're doing things that are consistent with like in travel ball when you're playing on the clock. But that notwithstanding, the reality of the matter is the 7th inning is about to be underway.
That's right. So it'll be the bottom of the order, 9, and then back to the top of the order, 1 and 2 due up for Woodland. And they do have a 2-run lead. 3-1 is your score, and it'll be number 25, Brett Good, to lead things off for the Wildcats. Pilgrim has looked sharp in his appearances. We'll see what he does here tonight. That
almost
one
almost
buzzes the tower.
Yeah.
Maverick requested a flyby. He was denied, and he said, I'm coming anyways.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
That one's fouled back, so the count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, Pilgrim was inserted into a game where he had to come in relief of Holiday, who got injured. He ran into some trouble, inherited some trouble, and then has been lights out ever since. He has been kind of that middle to late reliever for the Dogs, as that one misses 2 balls and 1 strike. We saw him in action in several games, and he's done well.
Swung on and missed.
His latest work came in one of the games against Northwest Whitfield in the doubleheader. I believe it was the second game of that 3-game series. So the count now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes against Brett Good.
Fouled away.
He'll stay alive. I thought I was going to be home and in the bed by 10:30. I was excited about life for a moment.
He will not be.
Oh, man. Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to make it.
I think you will. I have confidence in you.
Payoff pitch on the way.
Fouled away.
Good putting up a quality at bat here against Pilgrim. So Ra Ware's
it's a good at bat.
Final night, it is a good at bat.
It's a good at bat.
Good at bat from Good. Ra Ware goes 1 inning. He would give up 2 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. And Pilgrim loses him. So Good draws the leadoff walk, and that will send us back to the top of the order for the Wildcats into Sturmer, who is 1 for 3. It's amazing to look at that line. Unfortunately for Ra Ware, it's going to be one that he will hope to soon forget. He would only make it 1 inning, and he would give up 2 runs, no hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout, and some errors would add to that. The Dogs with 2 errors on the night. Oh, my.
Going to be a snap throw back to first base, but an errant throw sails into right field.
I mean, he threw it to the right fielder.
Yes. Lost the handle on it a little bit.
So the runner moves up from first to second and Good. And again, the Wildcats are threatening.
Pitcher comes set, the delivery squares to bunt, bunts it. Catcher fields it out in front of home plate, throws it away. Out into right field. Right fielder backing it up well, keeps the runner at first, but not able to keep that runner from scoring from second, which brings the score up to 4-1 Woodland. And you look at this, Sam, and the disappointing part is that it was 1-1 for so long, and now it is 4-1. And am I not correct that all 3 of those additional runs are unearned runs.
You are correct, sir. So that'll bring up Clowers, the backstop for the Wildcats. Jake tonight is 0 for 1 with a walk. Cedartown committing their 3rd and 4th error.
Strike called.
Error number 3 and 4 directly led to that 4th run of the night for the Wildcats.
Squares to bunt, bunts it, foul.
Just a tough couple of innings for the Dogs. Ex-Holiday would pitch a gem of a game up until Ra Ware came in relief there in the 6th inning. The Wildcats would strike for 2 there, and now they have struck again here in the top of the 7th for 1.
Hit out to third base. Third baseman throws it to second for 1 out, and he wisely just sticks it in his pocket because there was no way he was going to turn that into a 5-4-3. So wisely just took what he had, recorded the out, and let's move on.
Yep. We talked about that during the break.
Sometimes that's too much.
Sometimes that's the best thing, and when you try to do too much, you make those mistakes that generally you would not make. And Owen Gerald has played well out at second base, not being the original starter out there for the Dogs, but coming in here in this latter part of the season in a few starts. That one's in the dirt. Good stop there by Allred.
Well, you know what a coach said one time. This is a simple game. You throw the ball, you catch the ball, you hit the ball.
That's right.
Yeah.
Simple.
That ball's mashed out to right field, and it's going to short hop the fence. Going to be a double. It's a good throw coming in. Got him at second base trying to stretch that into a double, but advanced the runner over to third. And I hear some people out there having a little fun with that. You know what that might have been? That might have been a thinking that was a dinger.
Yep.
For the first 4 steps out of the batter's box and then trying to get it into a double.
Well, and I tell you what, if he'd have had a breeze and a a little bit of help,
if he'd ate one more spoonful of Wheaties,
that's right.
It would have went.
So it's a long second out, and that will bring up
and you know the
Mason Williams.
The clock is still at 0.
It is. They haven't restarted that clock. Count 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch on the way, and that one is lifted foul and will be out of play.
What was the coach that said that? Do you remember?
No. I don't.
Bull Durham.
Okay. I got you. I mean, my mind went straight to Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own, but then I was thinking, I don't think so.
There's no
crying in baseball. That's right. Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball. Hello. Oh, sorry.
That's somebody on the field's phone. We digress.
You don't say. 4-1 your score. It's the time of the night where the shenanigans begin. Past my bedtime.
Inside is the pitch.
Of course, Andrew Carter is quite used to my antics after about 9:30. Right? Yeah. Well, and some nights I get cranked up even before then. It's just the motion of the ocean.
Pitch on the way, hit hard out to center field. Good play by the Cedartown center fielder, Tony Ware, to squeeze that one. If he doesn't squeeze that one, it's another double. But
here's what I do know. This really is it. This really is it.
Yes. Well, unless Cedartown comes back and ties it, and then we just keep on with the marathon. It'll be like the Rick Camp home run game. Don't you look at me like that. That means that was way before you were born.
Again, I'm unfamiliar.
That was about 19-inning game back in the 70s, and when the Braves pitcher
I have seen
ends the game with a walk-off dinger. And then what made it so funny is Rick Camp good pitcher, but he couldn't have hit the floor with his hat if you gave him 3 tries.
Right.
And he ends that game with a dinger.
Hey, I'd be happy if we will end this one with a dinger, but we will go to the bottom of the 7th. The Dogs are down by 3. We'll be back after this 60-second break here on the Big Double A.
Coverage of Cedartown High School Bulldogs baseball on the Big Double A is brought to you in part by Republican State Representative Trey Kelly of Cedartown.
This is Representative Trey Kelly. I want to wish all the players and coaches a safe and successful season. You've worked hard to represent us on the field, and I'm proud to represent you in the Georgia House of Representatives. Again, this is Representative Trey Kelly, and I want to thank you for listening to the Big Double A. Go Dogs!
This announcement paid for by State Representative Trey Kelly, kellyforhouse.com. Cedar Stream, the industry leader in screen printed apparel. They offer screen printing, embroidery, and signs and banners. At Cedar Stream, they have a fully automated screen printing facility here in Cedartown with the ability to efficiently and effectively distribute products all over the United States. Cedar Stream is a local family-run business with a big vision. Contact Cedar Stream today to find out what they can do for you. 800-686-7488 or cedarstream.com. Cedar Stream. Shirts. It's what we do.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big Double A.
Welcome back. The bottom half of the 7th inning underway. Hard hit ball out to second baseman. Second baseman scoops it up and throws him out at first base. But Andrew, Sam and I have just found out this is going to be game 1 of a doubleheader tonight.
Get your popcorn ready.
They're going to go ahead and play the game that was scheduled for 1 o'clock tomorrow
Well,
afternoon.
Whitewater's already here. They're ready. They're warmed up. They're ready to go.
All right, folks, that was a joke.
No way.
A 1 out, bottom half of the 7th inning. Cedartown trails 4-1. And that is Ace Allen up to try to see if he can get something started here. Cedartown has been scoreless since their one they put up in the bottom half of the 2nd inning.
And what's crazy is Cedartown leads Woodland in the hits category with 5. They also, though, lead in the errors category with 4 as Ace Allen looks at one in the dirt. So that is now a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. Holiday was that ground out to start off this inning. 1, 2, and 3 due up for the Dogs.
Strike called.
Tony Ware will be on deck for Cedartown. Ace still looking for his first base hit. He is 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Tony Ware standing on deck is 1 for 3.
The windup and the pitch on the way to Ace Allen is fouled out of play down the right field line.
J.D. Trail still on the mound in relief for Woodland. He is the 3rd Wildcats pitcher of the night. Cedartown also going through 3 pitchers. Started things off with X Holiday, who went 5 innings. And then Ra Ware, and then most recently Owen Pilgrim pitching an inning apiece. Ace Allen looks at a even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh! With the count 2-2 and down by 3.
BBS.
Oh.
Better be swinging.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Full count now on the Bulldogs' 3rd baseman.
And the pitch on the way, hit out to shortstop, and it gets by the diving shortstop. So Ace Allen aboard with a solid single.
Sturmer gave it a good effort out there at short, but that was just a sharply hit ball there by Allen, and it gets through. And so Cedartown with a much-needed base runner as they are down by 3 here in the final frame, and it will bring up Tony Ware, who is 1 for 3. Ware can do some damage at the plate, and we need him to continue the inning. 1 on, 1 out.
The windup and the pitch on the way is a ball.
That one missing outside. So Ware ahead in the count.
It's been a long time since I've been the last person to leave Lake Point.
I don't know if, last year we might have been the last people. Our game was late that night.
Swung on and missed.
It was a rainy, misty night, and I had a whale of a headache. And Andrew Carter did a phenomenal job calling that ball game, and I'll just you understand what I mean.
Solo, yeah. The stretch and the pitch on the way inside for a ball.
Luckily, he had driven, so I didn't have to drive home. But I tell you what, that was a night. The Dogs fell in that game. I don't remember the final or who we played, but I can tell you it did not go our way like this one here. But Tony Ware trying to change that. 2-1 to count.
Pitch on the way, hit out to shortstop. Shortstop backhands it. Going to be a tough play, and he is safe at first. So 2 runners now aboard for Cedartown.
And again,
bottom half of the 7th.
Sturmer made a good play on it. He did everything that he could, but he was about as deep in the hole as you can be there out at the shortstop, and with a speedy runner, it just not a chance to get Tony Ware. So the Dogs now with the runners at first and second, and it's going to bring up Samuel Formby. And again, Formby, one of those dogs that's due a good hit tonight, and he needs it here. Short conversation as we're retrieving some more baseballs. Clowers out speaking with J.D. Trail, and I think they're now all on the same page and ready to go. And we will not be ready to go. Coach Eubanks is out of the dugout for the Woodland Wildcats over on the first base side. He's going to take the ball from Trail, and we're going to have a pitching change. We'll step away for a 60-second break, and we'll be back after this word from our sponsors here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network, the Big AA.
Hey, it's the Border Mexican Restaurant located at 718 North Main Street right here in Cedartown. Their phone number, 678-246-1031. They serve a wide variety of your favorite Mexican food made fresh daily. Great food, great fun. It's great for the whole family. Come see us at the Border Restaurant right here on Main Street in Cedartown. Or you can call for takeout at 678-246-1031. The Border Mexican Restaurant is the best Mexican food north of the border. That's the Border Restaurant right here in Cedartown.
Bradford's Drug Store on North Main Street in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember Bradford's for all of your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacist takes time to get to know you, explain your medication, and answer any questions that you may have. Go by and see Bill Brewster and all the fine folks at Bradford's the next time you need a prescription filled. Also use their convenient drive-thru. Bradford's Drug Store, 500 North Main Street, Cedartown, 770-748-3100. And all the folks at Bradford say, go Dogs.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big AA.
And we are back again, folks.
They just thought they got rid of us.
They did. But the clock is still at 0.
It is. The clock is still at 0.
Is. We have learned moments ago that the clock is irrelevant here.
Actually, he took it off.
I think he did.
Aiden Ray's going to get the baseball for the Wildcats, and he will try to close things out here as Woodland has a 4-1 lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. Cedartown with runners at first and second, and Tony Ware and Ace Allen, and Samuel Formby will come to the plate. So the Dogs need 3 to tie, 4 to win. We'd love to see a 4-run inning. A 3-run inning would send us to extras. And a little bit of free baseball, but here on a Thursday night from Lake Point, for somebody that I know I get up early. I'm a 5:45er. You're a before that though. You're up before me.
Sometimes about par 5:30, 5:30.
So it's going to be an early morning for us. But if it means free baseball to pick up a win, we'll take it. But we got to get at least 3 first.
Strike called.
Ugh.
In the other batter's box, huh?
I think he was a little generous with that one.
Straddle the line and you catch it in the other batter's box. I'm just saying.
0-1 the count.
Ball high.
So the count now even for the Bulldogs right fielder. Samuel Formby, you would think by all accounts would get the start in one of tomorrow's games.
Swung on and missed.
You could also see Cole Cochran, depending upon how Coach Johnson wants to work the lineup.
I wonder if they start Jay in one of them.
Honestly, I don't think it's a bad idea, especially game one. You kind of know what Cartersville's bringing to the plate. That one's misses low, so that's going to be ball 2. You know what you're dealing with when you go up against Cartersville. To be honest with you, I have not looked at Whitewater's record. I don't know how they would match up, but I would be surprised if O'Neill gets the ball.
Chop foul at the plate to stay alive.
Formby trying to reach and extend the inning.
Swung on and missed, goes down on strikes for the second out. So it's all going to be up to Holiday if the Dogs are going to stay alive.
Chief Whitewater, the Whitewater Wildcats out of Fayetteville, Georgia, are 12-10 overall, 5-3 in region play. So that kind of lets you know where that ball club is as well. Cedartown facing off against 3 good teams here in this battle for Bartow. It's not a cupcake walk against any of them. All 3 coming in with a winning record. Cedartown without a winning record. They've won 7 games on the season, but 5 of those games have been in region play.
Yes.
And that's where you make your money.
Ball gets away from the catcher. Runners are going to advance 90 feet.
As Joe Simpson said, that's what you want on the back of the bubblegum card.
That's right.
It's all about those region wins. And Cedartown, even though this is not a region game, trying to pick up a win here against Woodland, has moved runners up to second and third with the big DH bat of Holiday at the plate. He's ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes.
The windup and the delivery to Holiday is hit out to first base. This may close it out. First baseman stabs it, steps on the bag, 3 unassisted, and down go the Bulldogs in this first game of 3 against Woodland here tonight. 2 games tomorrow, 1 against Cartersville, 1 against Whitewater. But that'll close the book on it tonight. Cedartown loses by a score of 4-1. Woodland put up 1 in the first and went scoreless until the 6th, where they put up 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Cedartown put up 1 in the bottom of the second inning, and that was their only score for this game.
Ayers would